what is the difference between oxidation and reduction? In oxidation, it is a chemical process in which a substance combines with oxygen or loses hydrogen. And reduction is what? It is a chemical process or reaction also you can write, in which a substance combines with hydrogen or loses oxygen. Here it combines with oxygen and loses hydrogen. Here it is other way around. It combines with hydrogen or loses oxygen. Next one, oxidation means losing one or more electron. Reduction means gaining one or more electron. And the third one is positive charge of an atom increases and the negative charge decreases. And over here, positive charge of an atom decreases and a negative charge increases. Now, redox reaction. What is redox reaction? When oxidation and reduction both occur simultaneously in a given chemical reaction, then it is called redox reaction. तो अगर कोई रिएक्शन में ऑक्सीडेशन और रिडक्शन दोनों भी साथ में होता है तो उसको बोलता है, उस केमिकल रिएक्शन को बोलता है रिडॉक्स रिएक्शन. रिडॉक्स का मतलब ही वो है, RED का मतलब क्या है? रिडक्शन. और OX का मतलब क्या है? ऑक्सीडेशन. तो रिडक्शन और ऑक्सीडेशन को मिला के रिडॉक्स का सिंबल बना है और redox is used. Now for example, CuO plus H2 gives Cu plus H2O. In this, CuO loses oxygen to form Cu, hence it is reduction क्योंकि वो lose करता है oxygen, और H2 gain करता है oxygen, therefore it is known as oxidation reaction. So in the same reaction, both reduction and oxidation takes place. Therefore, this is an example of redox reaction. Now, oxidant is reduced by reductant, and reductant is oxidized by oxidant. Now when a question is given in page number 43, use your brain power. Some examples of redox reaction are given. Identify which is a reductant and which is the oxidant in them. So some examples are given. 2H2S plus SO2 gives 3S plus 2H2O. Now in this, what is the oxidant? Over here, SO2 loses oxygen to form S, therefore it is reduction reaction, and H2 gains oxygen to form water molecule, therefore it is an oxidation reaction. Over here, oxidant is what? यहाँ पे oxidant क्या है? SO2. और reductant क्या है? H2S. Now another example is given. MnO2 plus 4HCl gives MnCl2 plus 2H2O plus Cl2. Now over here, Mn2 loses oxygen to form MnCl2, therefore it is reduction reaction. And in hydrogen over here in HCl gains oxygen to form water molecule, therefore it is oxidation reaction. Now over here, which is oxidant? Oxidant is MnO2. And which is a reductant? Reductant over here is HCl. Now another question they have given. If oxidation means losing electron, what is meant by reduction? So reduction means gaining electron. If oxidation is losing electron, then reduction is gaining electron. Then third question, write the reaction of the formation of Fe2 plus by reduction Fe3 plus by making use of the symbol E minus. So Fe3 plus takes one electron. Now what is the meaning of 3 plus? 3+ का मतलब क्या है, Fe ने 3 इलेक्ट्रॉन लूज किया है। अभी वो 1 इलेक्ट्रॉन लेगा और क्या बनेगा, Fe2+. Since it has got 1 extra electron, so 3+ will become 2+. That means it has lost now only 2 electron. First it had lost 3 electron, it took 1 electron and became Fe2+. So this is an example of reduction reaction. So what is reduction reaction? Gaining electrons. So when positive charge increases and negative charge decreases, then it is called oxidation reaction. Similarly, when positive charge decreases, for example over here, when the positive charge decreases and negative charge increases and negative charge increases, then it is called a reduction reaction. For example, when Fe takes 1 oxygen, that is oxidation takes place, it becomes FeO. Again, if it takes oxygen, that is oxidation, and it becomes Fe2O3. Now when this Fe2O3 loses oxygen, it becomes FeO, so it will be reduction. And again, when FeO loses oxygen, it becomes Fe, that is also reduction. Now, even in cellular respiration, in our body, cellular respiration, we'll be studying this. Cellular respiration is an example of redox reaction. In this, redox reaction takes place with the help of an enzyme which is known as cytochrome C oxidase. Now over here in this reaction, if you have not understood the meaning of oxidant is reduced by reduction and reductant is oxidized by oxidant, I'll explain over here. This is the oxidant. Oxidant is what? SO2. So oxidant loses the oxygen to form S. So SO2 over here, which is an oxidant, is reduced. So SO2, which is an oxidant, is reduced by what? Reductant, because it takes this oxygen. Similarly over here, H2S is a reductant since it gains the oxygen from the SO2. So reductant is oxidized by oxidant by taking the oxygen from here, and it get oxidized. Now take 4 test tubes, and in each of the test tube put a nail piece in it. So in all the 4 test tube put a nail, and in the first test tube you take boiled water, and above the boiled water put a layer of oil on it. In the second test tube put some salt solution. In the third test tube don't add anything. In the fourth test tube also you don't add any water, but put some anhydrous calcium chloride and close the test tube with a cork. Now after some days you will find that in test tube 2 and in test tube 3, the nail, a reddish layer was formed on the nail. So in both this, a reddish layer was formed. Reddish layer was formed in both the test tube, that is 2 and 3. Now why does this occur? but reddish layer was not formed in the nail in test tube 1 and in test tube 4. Now in test tube 3 there was air and moisture or water vapor in the air. So because of the presence of the moisture or water vapor and air, so together it brought about the reddish layer. Here also because of the presence of the iron solution of the salt, so here also because of the presence of the iron in salt solution, the reddish layer was formed. But because of the iron in the salt solution, here the reddish layer was formed very rapidly or very quickly. Here it was formed very slowly. So in test tube 1 there was water, but because of the layer of oil, the air was not able to come in contact with the nail, therefore the nail did not form a reddish layer. In the fourth test tube, air was there, but there was no moisture in this air. Why? Because anhydrous calcium chloride absorbs all the moisture, therefore a reddish layer was not formed on this nail, in the test tube 4. Now this reddish layer, so that means we come to know from this experiment that air and moisture or water vapor, water or water moisture, that is water vapor, is necessary for the formation of reddish layer on the nail. This reddish layer is known as what? Rust. And what is the formula of rust? Formula of rust is what? Fe2O3 dot H2O dot XH2O. XH2O. This formula is very important. They do ask in exam what is the formula of rust. The formula of rust is what? Fe2O3 dot XH2O. And because of this, so from this we conclude that water and air or moisture and air is necessary for the formation of rust. You must have seen that new vehicles look very shiny, whereas the old vehicle looks very dull. Why it looks dull? Because of the formation of rust on the metallic surface. Now on page number 45 a question is given, that is question number 5. This diagram is given and the answer of this is given on page number 44 in the end. Now this is an iron piece and this is a rust and this is a water droplet on the iron piece. Now the iron piece, some part of the iron piece acts like cathode and some part of the iron piece acts like anode, and this is an electrochemical process. So now what happens at the anode? And at anode Fe, which is solid, forms Fe2 plus, that is liquid or aqueous, plus 2 electrons. So at anode Fe gets oxidized to form Fe2 plus, and at cathode oxygen gets reduced to form water molecules. So oxygen gets reduced to form water molecules. This is gas, this is aqueous, and this is liquid. And so at anode Fe get oxidized to form Fe2 plus, and at cathode oxygen get reduced to form water molecule. Now when this Fe2 plus combines with the water molecule, we get Fe3 plus. It gets further oxidized to form Fe3 plus, and this Fe3 plus forms the reddish color. So this Fe3 plus forms the reddish color, reddish layer of hydrated oxide, which is known as rust. So this is known as the rust. So Fe3 plus, 2 Fe3 plus, 2 Fe3 plus plus 4 H2O which is liquid, reacts to give what? The rust. What is the formula of rust? Fe2O3 dot H2O. You can see over here Fe2O3 dot H2O, which is known as the rust, plus 6H minus, H plus, 6H plus, plus 6H plus, which is also aqueous. So this is solid and this is aqueous. So this is how rust is formed. So at the iron piece, some part of the iron piece acts like cathode and some part act like anode. At anode what happened? the Fe gets oxidized to form Fe2 plus. At cathode, what happens? The oxygen gets reduced to form water molecule. When this Fe2 plus combines with water molecule, it gets further oxidized to form Fe3 plus, and a reddish layer of hydrated oxide, which is known as rust, is formed. So this is the equation. 2Fe3 plus 4H2O gives Fe2O3 dot H2O, which is a rust, plus 6H plus. Now the metals get affected by the different components of the atmosphere, and this, when it affects the metal gets corroded. This is known as corrosion. The formation of rust on iron is known as corrosion of iron. Similarly, the other metals also gets corroded, like the silver gets black in color after some days. The brass gets a greenish layer on the metal. So these are all the examples of corrosion of metal. Now, what is rancidity? When foodstuffs are cooked in old leftover oil, it gets a foul odor, and taste also changes, This is known as rancidity. तो जब भी फूड स्टफ को पुराने लेफ्ट ओवर ऑयल में पकाया जाता है तो उसका जो स्मेल है वो एक ख़राब सा स्मेल आता है और उसका टेस्ट भी एकदम ख़राब रहता है, तो इसको बोलता है रैंसिडिटी. जब भी फूड स्टफ्स को ओल्ड लेफ्ट ओवर ऑयल में पकाते हैं तो इट गेट्स ऑक्सीडाइज्ड and the foodstuffs become rancid. Now we can prevent this rancid foodstuff rancidity can be prevented, not foodstuff. Rancidity can be prevented by using antioxidant. Or storing the foodstuffs in airtight container. तो जब भी ये फूड स्टफ्स को ओल्ड लेफ्ट ओवर ऑयल में पकाता है तो उसको ऑक्सीडाइज हो जाता है और वो फूड स्टफ रैंसिड हो जाता है. तो रैंसिडिटी को अपन प्रिवेंट भी कर सकता है. कैसे प्रिवेंट कर सकता है? बाय यूजिंग एंटीऑक्सीडेंट. नहीं तो ये फूड स्टफ्स को एयर टाइट कंटेनर में स्टोर करेगा तो रैंसिडिटी प्रिवेंट कर सकता है.